Tonight on News 5 Live, Belize City facing garbage woes as trash and arrears pile up. A 9-year-old becomes the latest victim of fatal gun violence, and Belize City is no longer having COVID clusters, but community spread. Find out what this means for contact tracing efforts. Details of these stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime, while with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
The Statistical Institute of Belize is responsible for conducting the National Population and Housing Census every 10 years. While the next one is scheduled for 2022, the Statistical Institute of Belize is already recruiting to fill positions for interviewers, field supervisors, drivers, editor coders, administrative assistants, and IT technicians. These temporary positions for the 2022 census offer competitive wages that are paid weekly. Join the 2022 census team. Applying online is easy. Visit our website at sib.org.bz/census recruitment and click apply. The Statistical Institute of Belize, providing Belize with quality, objective, and timely information.
Imagine going through your entire day without the burden and risk of carrying cash on you. Belize's shift to digital wallets has begun. With eCash, we can now skip the cash when collecting money or paying for our essentials, all while using a fast, easy, and secure platform. Simply add funds to your wallet via bank transfer or at an agent, and you're good to go. You will be able to make quick, easy payments simply by scanning QR codes. And best of all, it all happens just like that. Payments are as easy as clicking a link online or scanning a QR code. Download the eCash app from the Google Play and Apple App Store today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. The future is here with eCash. For more information, visit www.e-cash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257 to find out more.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 5 Caribbean Media Awards for 2019 and 2020. Best Television News Item, Best Responsible Coverage of Children's Issues, Best Health Education Journalism, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with special mention by the jury in the Best Television News Item category.
Newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, September 1st. I am Sabrina Daly. If you live in Belize City, you may have noticed trash beginning to pile up in your neighborhood. Well, there is a problem brewing with collection, and we will get to that in a moment. But News 5 has found out that you may be seeing yet another bill for your household beginning in April 2022. News 5 has confirmed with Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner that the Mayors Association of Belize is working on a cabinet paper that will be forwarded to the Ministry of Local Government. The aim is to amend the Belize City Council Act to allow for a small fee to be charged for residential garbage. For some years now, the idea had been tossed around, but it is now in gathering momentum. As it currently stands, the Town Council Act, by way of SI 13 of 2005, says, quote, "Every owner or occupier of premises within the limits of any town shall pay a monthly fee to the council for the regular collection and disposal of garbage," unquote. And while that is also the case for Belmopan, the Belize City Council Act doesn't allow for this. Instead, at Section 5.2, it says, quote, "No fee shall be payable for the collection of residential garbage," unquote. It continues that the council either does it itself or through contractors employed by the council. Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner, who is also president of the Mayors Association of Belize, says that he is willing to be the sacrificial lamb in adding a fee to collect garbage.
The solution, Dwayne, has to be a long-term solution. This type of short-term thinking is not working. The mere fact that you are paying out annually $3 million in property taxes that is by law designated to fix streets, to deal with drains, to deal with traffic management, to deal with all the other parks and playgrounds and creating greener spaces for children, women, children, youths. It takes significant amount of our resources out. So the question is, why has Belize City been singled out as the only municipality that is not legislated to collect residential garbage fee? I know the previous mayor had started this discussion long ago. For some reason it died off, but it can't be held back any longer. And from the Mayors Association, which I serve as the president, all the mayors are behind the initiative to get Belize City aligned with all the other municipalities. We're not looking at any exorbitant figures. We're looking in the neighborhood of $10 a month, but residents must pay something towards garbage.
Is there any timeline?
Well, that will be in our budget for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. We have a timeline by way of the Mayors Association to get this done by January 2022, so that it becomes law by April 2022, and we start to move in that direction. But that's a long-term solution. That's a solution that will solve future mayors' problem. They will never have that problem again. And if I, as Mayor Wagner, has to be the sacrificial lamb for that, then I am willing to be that sacrifice.
The plans to start charging residents in Belize City for garbage collection come on the heels of the council being almost $1 million in arrears with Belize Waste Control Limited. They are the contractor which, for years, has had a contentious relationship with the council over non-payment. This time around, the Belize City Council is at a record 20 weeks of outstanding payments to BWCL. News 5's Dwayne Moody hears from both sides.
Over $1 million in arrears is owed by the Belize City Council to Belize Waste Control Limited for 20 weeks worth of garbage collection. That is a lot of money for a lot of trash.
Belize City Council has been behind in its payment. However, Waste Control have been understanding over the last few months we continue to provide the service as usual. However, when it lapses into 20-week non-payment, then that begins to affect our ability to provide the service efficiently to the residents of Belize.
When the council announced garbage collection schedules were being reduced to just once a week for the north and south sides of Belize City, BWC manager George Lamb was shocked.
That was surprising to us because we have not discussed any change of schedule when it comes to garbage collection with the mayor or any personnel from Belize City Council. That is the thing that is daunting because we had expected some sit down with the mayor and the officials of the city in order for us to understand their challenges. We have been bending over quite a while, and in order for us to provide the service because it's an essential service. However, when there's a deafening silence from City Council as to what we do now, given the challenges they are facing, begs, all kinds of conclusion.
We can't cut the schedule, and we did have conversation at the CEO level. I did have a conversation at the CEO level last week, Friday, and that was part of the discussion. Sometime between the end of that discussion and during the course of the weekend and during the course of the week, current week, that may have changed, right? But I have to be held accountable to the people.
It's the record number of outstanding payments owed to the contractor. But according to Mayor Bernard Wagner, the non-payment has been due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has been affecting its revenue collection. Tax collection are down to 52%, and the mayor defines it as a cascading effect.
Which organization isn't feeling the effects of the pandemic? Belize City Council obviously is feeling that effects, having the fact that you have $31 million out there in property taxes. Does not help the situation, but the truth of the matter is that many people lost their jobs, and so I can appreciate the fact that those individuals and property owners may not be in the position to pay their property taxes, and so we find ourselves as a city council down 31 million. You can't blame anyone. The provider has its own challenges as well. As I said earlier, we have our challenges. The residents have their challenges. The government have their challenges. I can't turn to the government and ask them to bail us out.
The effects of garbage being left overnight and strewn over the streets after dogs rummage through the receptacles are already being felt in communities across the city. And before it gets out of hand, what's the solution to the city's garbage woes?
In the past, we were able to access our overdraft. That has been maxed out as well. Given the COVID, we were in this thing 18 months. Cash flow is not the same, and so we are telling our provider that we expect things to change in November, December, January.
We are trying to do the best with what we got. We are focusing on essential. It's an essential service, and we are trying to do the downtown area, prioritize what we do out there. So it's a slightly change in collection. However, we continue to commit ourselves to the regular schedule of picking up the garbage from the residents of Belize City twice a week. I'm hoping that we could have a formal discussion with the mayor and the city official as to how we will go forward and handle the situation.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Tonight, we regret to inform viewers that 9-year-old Jameer McCoy, who was shot in Unitedville on Monday night, has died. McCoy was near his house in the village standing along with his friend, 18-year-old Lloyd Myvitt, when a youth approached them and opened fire, hitting Myvitt in the chest and McCoy in the abdomen. Both were rushed to the Western Regional Hospital, where Myvitt died the same night. The younger boy underwent a 3-hour-long surgery on Tuesday and was initially listed as stable, but this morning his condition deteriorated. He was being transferred to the KHMH but died en route. The killing of yet another child by street violence has angered people on social media. And today, Minister of Youth Kevin Bernard made an appeal to youths living a life of crime to give it up.
We need to stop this. Innocent young men are dying. Children are dying because of reckless behavior. And I really, as the Minister of Youth, I really want to offer my condolences, but I want to also plead to our people, to our young people. Let's get up and make a difference. Let us turn a page and become each other support instead of each other, or how I would want to put it, instead of hating each other. Let us work together. I'm pretty sure we can do this. This country is small. Most of us know each other, and we can make a difference. And I am appealing to the parents, the caretakers, the guardians of these young people. Talk to your children. Give them positive things. Read the Bible to them. Explain to them values of life. These are things I think is very critical.
Police have a suspect and are following leads that the attack might have been drug-related. Lloyd Mivit's family maintains he was pursuing employment and enrollment in an apprenticeship program. With the expiration of the last statutory instrument on August 31st, a new SI takes effect today, extending the 9 p.m. curfew for an additional month. This means that between the days of September 1st to the 30th, you must be off the streets by 9 in the night. Additionally, SI 96 adds Coast Guards and BDF staff members to the list of frontline workers. This means that the COVID-19 regulations on vaccination and bi-monthly COVID tests no longer covers BDF and Coast Guard personnel alone. Furthermore, employers and staff of restaurants will be allowed 1 extra hour after curfew to reach their respective destinations safely. Again, this takes effect today and expires on September 30th. Also related to COVID-19 regulations, News 5 asked Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa about the decision made by his colleague, Minister of Health and Wellness Michelle Shabat, to offer special exemptions for a wedding at the Belize Biltmore Plaza Hotel. We wanted to find out too if there is any consequence for failing to gazette such an exemption as stipulated by the law.
As I understand the SI, Marisol, the regulations do give the minister the authority to issue these exemptions, and I'm aware that he has issued them time and time again over the past couple months for smaller functions, of course, including I think the Queen of the Bay pageant is one of them. Dr. Manuel Esquivel's book launch was one of them. So there are several different exemptions that he's allowed to give under the law. So I don't see where you're going with that particular question. I would have to check the SI to see if there is a consequence for that. I don't believe there is, but I'm sure that moving forward he will gazette them.
Coming up, COVID surge in the Belize district has health officials giving new instructions to those who think they have been exposed. Find out what they want you to do when we return.
End of March 2020. I was feeling really sick, so I'd been to visit my doctors. What they found is they found a tumour where I work, and my husband also had visited Galania before, so for me it was an obvious choice. I met with Olivia and her team. Like I say, they all speak great English, and they took me for the appointment with the specialist. The doctor there also spoke great English, and then they booked me in for the operation that afternoon. They had the pathologist come into the operating theatre, and then of course they took it away and they did the pathology as well, and it was actually a benign tumour, which I was very grateful to hear. You know, they did take really good care of me during that time. I mean, we think about doctors and nurses, you know, they speak great English, they're kind to you, you know, they're attentive, they try and solve problems for you, help you out with the medications. It's also closer to us, it's less hassle to get to Cancun, and of course, you know, the people coming with you, they can have a little bit of a break while you get better.
I saw the impacts of COVID-19, and I don't want to experience that again. That is why I took proactive steps to protect myself, my family, my fellow coworkers, visitors, and tourists.
I love seeing my guests happy, and my job is to give them a safe tour. By getting vaccinated, I achieve both these things.
By being vaccinated, I am doing my part to help.
Together, we can build our tourism industry by getting vaccinated. We encourage all tourism workers to get vaccinated so that tourists can continue to choose Belize as their destination of choice. The recovery of our tourism industry depends on you. Get vaxxed.
Did you know that the 2021 Belize Telephone Directory is now available? Get your free copy today at any Digistore, Quartz Belize, and A&R location countrywide. It's available in both regular and mini sizes and loaded with coupons to your favorite places. Use these coupons to save every day. Plus, download the Find Yellow mobile app and always have the directory with you. It's available in Google Play and Apple Store. For more info, log on to www.findyellow.com. The 2021 Belize Telephone Directory. Get yours today.
Stay safe and submit your sickness benefit claim form electronically. Follow these 4 steps. Step 1. Obtain your medical certificate. At consultation, the doctor certifies your days of illness and provides you with a medical certificate. Step 2. Fill out your sickness benefit form. Complete all the fields in parts 1 to 4 on the front page of the sickness benefit form. Step 3. Request your salaries record form. Contact your employer for your salaries record form. Step 4. Submit your sickness benefit claim form. Scan or take a clear picture of the sickness benefit form, salaries record, and proof of bank account. Email the documents to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz within 14 days. You will receive an email reply confirming receipt of your claim. After the submission of all documents, your claim is processed for payment to your account. For any COVID-related illnesses, contact the Ministry of Health for further guidance. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
The hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Get the essentials you need to stay safe this hurricane season, such as plywood, tarp and rope, first aid kit, rubber boots, raincoats and rain ponchos, generator, portable radio and batteries, flashlight and kerosene lanterns. Weather the storm with these products and more from Benny's. Quality and savings.
Is always with you, from live TV, sports, and on-demand titles. Choose your plan today. Plans start as low as $15 per month. My TV, entertainment, anytime, anywhere.
The infection rate as it pertains to new COVID-19 cases in Belize District has ballooned over the past few weeks. Those numbers have more than doubled since August 11th, prompting the Ministry of Health and Wellness to move away from describing the proliferation as a cluster. What we are experiencing, according to Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, is a community spread, and contact tracing efforts to determine the origins of the initial cases have become increasingly difficult.
On the 11th of August, we had 245 positive cases of COVID that we know about in the Belize District. Today, the 1st of September, we have 598 cases. So you'd see in just a very few weeks, the numbers have doubled and tripled, and it continues to be like that over the last few days.
Can this be attributed to any one particular cluster, either in the city or elsewhere within the district?
Yes, when you're looking at the situation at the Belize district, I would want us to look to move away from discussing clusters in businesses or clusters in certain areas. At this point, we do have community spread in the Belize district. Even when we're looking at contact tracing at this point, it may be futile for us, because if you have a big business with 200 people or 100 persons, you may end up picking up new cases that are not at all related to the positive cases at that establishment, because the spread is so significant at this point in the Belize district. So you may notice that somebody comes here to get swabbed because a staff member at work tested positive a few days ago. But that person, when you do the history and you really speak to that person, that person would not be a close contact to the staff member. But that person may swab positive, and when you actually speak to them, it's in a household or they were somewhere else where someone else was ill.
On August 23rd, minors between the ages of 12 and 17 began receiving initial doses of Pfizer vaccines. Across the country, as many as 12,000 teenagers have received their first shots. A campaign that is being launched by the Ministry of Health and Wellness will have nurses visiting primary and high schools to inoculate as many older students as possible in the weeks ahead.
We are very pleased to say that the vaccine drive has continued to be successful. We have people coming into our sites every single day, and at this point we have the AstraZeneca, Sinopharm, and J&J for Johnson & Johnson for persons 18 and over, and we have rolled out our Pfizer vaccine campaign for children between the ages of 12 and 17. That has also been successful countrywide.
Can you share with us perhaps a figure or a ballpark of the number of minors, 12 to 17, who have gotten their first shot since the beginning of that particular campaign?
Yes, well, we started last week, Monday, countrywide, so it's just a little under 2 weeks now, and we have vaccinated approximately 12,000 persons between the ages of 12 and 17. The target, of course, we're trying to go into schools, go into areas where we can get persons between the ages of 12 to 17. The benefit with Pfizer for us is that you have 3 weeks that you can then get your second dose within 21 days. So it's not the long 10 weeks or 8 to 10 weeks like with Astra. And as well, our target population, if we can focus on, going to the high schools, going to the primary schools and trying to get the target population vaccinated as fast as possible.
Dr. Cuellar's infection is what is being described medically as a breakthrough case. While there are instances of breakthrough cases in which a patient dies, other factors such as morbid obesity or other underlying health conditions are contributing factors. Or perhaps COVID was contracted before the vaccinations took full effect. One of the doctors who helped to treat Dr. Cuellar is Dr. Jorge Hidalgo. He is an internist and intensivist at the Belize Healthcare Partners. He explains what breakthrough cases are, as well as the severity of the symptoms usually exhibited.
We need to start defining what we what we refer to a breakthrough case. No? And essentially, a vaccine breakthrough case is defined as the detection of the SARS-CoV-2 infection in an individual who has been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. And that means fully vaccinated means having the 2 doses, in that case, either the AstraZeneca or the Pfizer, and then after 2 weeks of that. I mean that before that is not, it could be that if you got a COVID-19 before 2 weeks to be fully vaccinated, more likely the person was already in the incubation period of the COVID. No? In terms of the breakthrough, we also can refer that one of the most important things is that the vaccines are not 100%. So we will expect breakthrough infections. The majority of these infections normally are going to be mild. We have the Sisonki study, and they say that the 94% of the breakthrough cases were essentially mild. 4% of the cases were moderate, and 2% of the cases were severe infections.
Dr. Fernando Cuellar has been at the forefront of the fight against COVID-19, being extremely vocal about the need for Belizeans to adhere to the existing regulations. Since vaccines became available in country earlier this year, the well-known healthcare professional has also been the voice of the vaccination initiative. But when he contracted the deadly virus last week, it wasn't because Dr. Cuellar was unaware of the existing protocols. It was because he let his guard down momentarily in a situation where his own humanity got the better of him. It is now the motivation for him to remind Belizeans of the need to be fully vaccinated.
I will use this as more energy, more champion to advocate for the vaccine.
Yeah.
I am 150% sure that that vaccine helped me a lot. As you know, maybe for the past 18 months, 20 months, I've been dealing with patients with COVID. I've had some close calls before, but this one time I can remember well, the human part of me got the better of me, and I had to come close to a patient, and I suspect that's where you
contracted it.
Yeah, but it was worth it. It was worth it in terms of showing my human part to patients.
Yeah.
And trying to console patients with COVID. I'm not make no ghost for you. The vaccine works. The vaccine works.
The experience of having COVID has strengthened Dr. Cuellar's resolve. Having survived the life-threatening ordeal, the well-known internist says that individual responsibilities lies with each of us to adhere to all regulations.
In a way, I'm very grateful for having lived through it, because I can even relate to what patients are feeling better. And I just had to make sure that I was taking my medication and taking care of myself, hydrating, lots of home remedy. I thank Belize. I mean, I have had about 15 or 20 different home remedies, all of them helpful. And I will definitely use this experience with more resolve, with more care, with more love to help people, so that they can get over this COVID. And the big message I want to say is, it's everybody individual responsibility to take care of themselves. To wash your hands, wear your face mask properly, and the physical distance. We do not need government. We do not need authorities. We need to work together as Belizeans. We need to love each other. We need to get this country ahead and get out of this.
After the break, they were picked up under the Southside state of emergency. Find out how they are using their time behind bars when we come back. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Mi nombre es Ena Aurora Martínez. Tengo 62 años, pero me siento joven de corazón. Soy nacida y crecida en mi bello pueblo de Orange Walk. Crecí en un ambiente de familia con mucho respeto, fortaleza, trabajo arduo, excelentes principios y valores humanos fueron inculcados por nuestros padres. Me levanto temprano y lo primero que hago es darle gracias a Dios. Tomo esos momentos para pensar, para reflexionar y planear mi día de trabajo. Mi gran pasión es la música, escucharlo, cantar, bailar. Inicié mi carrera como un agente de seguros en enero de 1983 con la compañía Regent Insurance. En abril del 2005, Regent y F&G se unieron y formaron lo que ahora es R&G Insurance, la compañía más grande en Belice. R&G es muy reconocido por sus altos estándares y excelencia en productos y servicios a clientes. Agradezco a todos mis clientes por toda la confianza que me han dado por los pasados años. Soy tu vecina, soy tu amiga, soy tu agente RF&G.
Find your nearest RF&G agent on our website at rfginsurancepolice.com, where it pays to get it right.
Last month, my father passed away due to COVID-19. My father was not vaccinated. He was not. To be truthful, the things he would have said would be the things that we're hearing around town. But there were also some of the other things, some of the other myths that really I was trying to tell him, no, Daddy, you need to get your vaccine. But I couldn't convince him in time.
I think what they're doing is a disservice to this country. In my mind, what they're doing is creating fear among people when they should be spreading a message of hope. What I hear them say has no basis, no scientific basis for the assertions they're making. And more than anything else, there's no legal basis for their assertion.
Would he have gotten that vaccine, he would still be here cracking his jokes and being his fun, crazy self, and we really miss him.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardenia Village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
Some 50 gang members from Southside Belize City are incarcerated at the Belize Central Prison under the recent state of emergency. They will spend 2 more weeks behind bars before they are released back into their respective communities. Today, Ministers Karim Musa, Kevin Bernard, and the Director of the Department of Youth Services paid a visit to these young men. They were there to hear their concerns and to offer support and assistance. News 5's Paul Lopez was inside the Belize Central Prison's auditorium and filed the following report.
This auditorium at the Belize Central Prison is filled with men accused of being members of gangs. They are behind prison bars under a state of emergency declared in Southside Belize City for 1 month.
I don't know if the people that want to put on my mic are people for fun, because I stay inside all day. I have big people look after me, like Mr. Noel, and big people that tell me, shop, please don't touch up my shooting up and they go up for me. For what? I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing at all. I try to stay with the trouble, but I can't stay with the trouble. Right? And then they do me something like that, I might have to rage.
One by one, these men, for the most part sworn enemies outside these prison walls, created a united front in voicing their concerns about police abuse and the lack of jobs and opportunities in their community. Overwhelmed with emotions, this young man used obscene language, and he was quickly reprimanded by the CEO of the Belize Central Prison. One individual expressed his frustration with not being able to see the Commissioner of Police after reportedly making several attempts. He too was quickly shut down. Here, a third accused member noted that jobs have been promised to the young men in his community, but he says those promises have gone unfulfilled. Those exchanges led to some final words from the head table of officials before the men were escorted out of the auditorium and back to their designated holding areas. When we spoke to Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa after today's engagement, he did not take offense from the emotionally charged comments.
The first thing I told the gentleman at the head table is, why did you shut this down just now? It was getting real, it was getting raw, and I wanted to hear from them. And I did get to hear from them. But at the same time, these young men are frustrated. Let us not forget that. We are not coming to some hunky-dory place where everybody's all happy, go lucky, singing Kumbaya.
And while no Kumbayas were sung before the heated conversation, these men were challenged to channel their inner creativity by spending their time behind bars, writing a song of their own as a part of their rehabilitation. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
As we said, Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa was not at the Belize Central Prison alone. Also present were members of the Belize Police Department, Community, and the Department of Youth Services. The DYS has agreed to engage these young men for the next 2 weeks in an attempt to create positive change in their lives.
What we have come to do today is to reach out to these young men, and not only here, it's going to happen out in the communities as well, and that's one of the things that the Department of Youth Service, through the support from UNHCR and UNICEF, in terms of using the cure violence method, going out into the community to talk to these people, talk to the families, to the parents, to the business community, and see how can we turn this type of thing around. I think it was critical that we come as the minister in charge of the youth. The Department of Youth Service, the director, said that they wanted to come in and offer a 2-week workshop training while these guys are here at the SOE, to hear from them. And there's 2 critical areas that will be directed: the conflict management and behavior modification and conflict management services, and the health and wellness and the counseling services that the teams from the department will conduct discussions, one-on-one discussions with these young men, see exactly what are the challenges that they are facing. Why is it, and as I raised to them, why is it that they always hear, this person can't go over that area, when we are all Belizeans, they are all young black men in this community.
The Minister of Home Affairs says he does not expect Southside state of emergency to be extended past September 19th. But although he says the government is prepared to continue this approach to dealing with gang violence if necessary, he points to the precedent set by the last administration.
I do not foresee that we will extend this SOE, but at the same time, like I told the young men today, we can continue this song and dance for as long as they want. It is really up to them. Like I told you, last year, the Barrow administration did too. They did a 30-day and a 90-day. Quite possible we could be right back here if it is that they cannot resolve their differences. And like I said, they have more similarities than they do differences. I think that this approach, it's different, it's revolutionary, it's new, it's something that they've certainly never seen. Ministers coming and speaking with them, not as ministers, but man to man. And I will be back here before the end of the state of emergency because I need to speak with them. I need to hear them without the cameras here.
Just ahead, Minister Julius Hispat wins a significant court case against the government. But now he is part of the administration. What this means when we return.
Improving lives, delivering quality. Water for you and me. In Belize, BWS, we make it happen.
At Belize Water Services, we continue delivering on our promise of improving the lives of you, our valued customers. We have all been adversely affected by COVID-19 in many ways. BWS has ensured that we have been there for you during these difficult and challenging times by adjusting our processes and our way of doing business to ensure the safety of our customers as well as our staff. BWS enhanced our virtual and distance options to continue to serve you while reducing risk. Customers have been able to contact us through our toll-free numbers, via email, and using our newly introduced WhatsApp numbers for messaging. We have also continued to encourage customers to make payments online. These measures are all designed to improve the safety of customers. BWS went even further. Knowing the effects of the pandemic on the economy and our customers, we launched our residential amnesty program, offering rebate discounts during the months of April, May, and June 2021. We're pleased to report that some 7,400 customers utilized the arrears assistance, and some 18,000 residential customers received the benefit of the early payment discount. During these tough times, BWS also continued to invest in infrastructure expansion and improvements. At the same time, we have continued to provide high-quality, safe, potable water services to ensure the continued health and safety of all our consumers. Our customers enjoyed uninterrupted water supply during the most challenging of times.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
At Belize Diagnostic Center, we offer FDA-approved PCR testing for COVID-19. Get your results as quickly as 1 hour. Don't risk getting exposed to COVID-19 by going elsewhere. We take appointments, or we can come to your home or office using our concierge service with no additional fees. We have 10 locations countrywide. Call or WhatsApp us at 613-TEST. That is 613-8378 to schedule your test today.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800 A Way Out or our cell phone number 672-9628. This message is brought to you by the National Women's Commission in collaboration with Miss Universe Belize with funding from the Engender and Spotlight projects.
The hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Get the essentials you need to stay safe this hurricane season, such as plywood, tarp and rope, first aid kit, rubber boots, raincoats and rain ponchos, generator, portable radio and batteries, flashlight and kerosene lanterns. Weather the storm with these products and more from Benny's. Quality and savings.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
The new season of Caribbean Model Search is here.
To be on this show is like a blessing to me. I feel so special.
Powerful post icons, hot new potential post grades.
I feel like I can ace it.
Who will chart their own course, join the top ranks, and add to the rich history of the Pulse powerhouse of modeling talent? Who will take the top spot? Who will turn potential into Pulse greatness?
I want to come out on top.
Don't miss this season of Caribbean Model Search.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 5 Caribbean Media Awards for 2019 and 2020. Best Television News Item, Best Responsible Coverage of Children's Issues, Best Health Education Journalism, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with special mention by the jury in the Best Television News Item category.
There is a meeting of the House of Representatives this Friday, but this week we were reminded of the day Julius Espat was kicked out of the House of Representatives. That happened back on August 26, 2016, during a heated exchange with then House Speaker Michael Perrafit. He ordered police officers to physically remove Espat after suspending him for 5 months. Espat took his fight to the Supreme Court. On Tuesday, Justice Westman James ruled in his favor and ordered the government to pay him $95,000 in benefits, salary that was withheld, and damages. While Espat declined to comment on the case to News 5, today attorney Andrew Marshallek told us the ruling proved that Perrafit's decision to eject Espat from the House was indeed a breach of his constitutional rights because the Speaker did not follow the standing orders of the House.
Order 44 requires that the House suspend him, not the Speaker. And the procedure for the House to suspend him had not been properly invoked or followed. Specifically, somebody should have moved a resolution for his suspension, for his naming and suspension, and then that resolution should have been put to a vote by the House to approve or disapprove of the suspension. That never took place. And that was really indisputable on the facts. It was publicly recorded and broadcast, and there was never any vote. So once it was recognized that the standing orders themselves require a vote, and there was no vote, then it means that his suspension was unlawful. And the consequences of the unlawful suspension was to breach a number of his fundamental constitutional rights. Being his right to participate in the proceedings of the House, subject only to the standing orders, to associate with other members of the House, and of course his right to equal protection of the law. So those were all violated, and the court found, gave declarations to that effect, and awarded the restoration of all the benefits that were withheld from him as a consequence of his suspension, and also awarded vindicatory damages in the sum of $50,000 plus costs.
In an interesting twist, ESPAT is now part of the government which lost the lawsuit. But Marshall says that the government is the government, no matter which party is in power. And while ESPAT's colleague, Minister of Home Affairs, Karim Musa, agrees, Musa said he regrets the award will have to be paid while the PUP is in power.
I guess it's regrettable that we're going to be the ones that have to pay, but the law is the law at the end of the day. I supported the Honorable Julius then, as I do today, in saying that he was unjustifiably kicked out of Parliament that day when he was representing the good people of Kaya South. And so it doesn't matter if it's a UDP government or a PUP government, we still have to pay it out. Similarly, with any award, we still have to deal with BTL and paying back BTL and all of that. So it continues.
For the people's money.
It's the government. Michael Perifeet represented the government, so we have to pay on Michael Perifeet's behalf.
The government is our government. It's all of our governments. It's a government even of people who didn't vote in favor of it. There is not a PUP government or a UDP government. There's a government of the state of Belize, and that government is elected every 5 years. But in terms, from a perspective of liability, the entity that committed the wrong and the entity that must now pay is and has always been the same. It's the state of Belize as represented by the government of Belize. So the case was instituted against the Attorney General as a representative of the state of Belize, and the award has been made against the Speaker and the Attorney General as representatives of the state of Belize.
Though all of those persons have changed since?
Yes, but the state hasn't changed. When they acted in their official capacities as officers of the state.
The ministers of Foreign Affairs of Belize and Guatemala met on Wednesday with the Secretary General of the Organization of American States, Luis Almagro, in Washington, D.C. Minister Eamon Courtney and Minister Pedro Brola Villa gave an overview of the work taking place at the OAS office in the adjacency zone. According to press release on the OAS website, the Secretary General was invited to, quote, develop and recommend specific measures, mechanisms, or processes aimed at preventing situations likely to create tensions in the adjacency zone, end quote. Both sides reiterated their commitment to the framework agreement for negotiations and confidence-building measures signed in September of 2005. The delegations also met with the group of Friends of Belize and Guatemala. The Belize delegation also included Senator Michael Perifeet, representing the opposition. The Human Rights Commission of Belize held an extraordinary general meeting virtually and filled several vacancies on its board. Appointed as the new secretary is Attorney Kay King of Belmopan, while the new treasurer is Candice Garbut of San Pedro, and trustee is Attorney Brandon Usher of Belize City. Today, Vice President of the Commission, Cynthia Pitts, told News 5 the Commission is working to improve training, attract more volunteers, and expand its reach across the country so they can assist those making complaints of human rights abuses.
It's all well and good to speak out, but at the end of the day, many of these incidents need to be taken to court, but then who is there to take it to court? I am a retired attorney, and the president is the only one. And so we would really need attorneys to be with us, and we need volunteers. Now that we are being assisted by one of the UN agencies to really do what can be viewed as a rebranding, we will be able to employ persons, and we have already done so, where the focus will be on the police and their actions, the violations of the rights. And I think that is going to be our focus now that we have persons working with us. And what we want to do too is to set up branches or cells over the whole country where persons will be able to easily go to a focal point person of that branch or cell and make a complaint. And that will be directed to the head office, and we will be better able to assist persons. UNICEF has agreed to assist us in strengthening ourselves, and this is in connection too with the Spotlight Project. And so it is because the elimination of violence against the women, girls, LGBT, minorities, everybody, that is a human rights matter. And so the Human Rights Commission is very well poised to deal with human rights, which also include these type of violations. Okay. And so that is why they have approached us, that if we are able to set up branches and cells over the country, then we would not only be receiving complaints by the police, but by other persons as well, and every other complaint.
And how would you be able to represent these people who are on the receiving end of the abuse?
At the moment we can't, but the whole idea is to strengthen yourself so that you can, that you will have an attorney who is working along with the commission, maybe employed by the commission.
To do what?
To represent persons. And to go the whole 9 yards, because of the moment we are able to give advice, we can do that, but as to going into court, that is not possible. Only unless we would get someone who would say, well, I will take on that case. But it isn't a thing that's an automatic thing that you come and we will have an attorney. But the whole idea is to be able to really have an attorney on staff.
PID says that the members who were appointed to serve during the Commission's virtual meeting will do so for 1 year. Training will be conducted for them as well as for the members. Up next, artists move into public spaces across the country. A sneak peek at the Independence mural in Belize City when we return. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
Earlier this week, we showed you new public art at the Isidora Beetham Stadium on the Ring Road in Belmopan. That mural is part of an initiative by the National Celebrations Committee happening across all 9 municipalities. An official simultaneous unveiling takes place on September 13th. But this afternoon, News 5 wanted a sneak peek, so we headed to Rogers Stadium in Belize City. There, we found 3 artists having begun the process of transforming a portion of this fence into their latest masterpiece.
Keon Griffith, Alex Sanker, and Chelsea Johnston. They are well-known painters in Belize who have been working with different techniques to create statement pieces. Today, about 8 sections of the Rogers Stadium fence have been made their latest canvas, on which they will be showcasing a retrospective of Belize's independence.
Everyone would want just cultures and, we want different people to show unity and stuff. But we forget where we were to where we are now. And that's what we wanted to depict. Where we were, where we started at the first independence to where we are now. So starting off, I'm just giving you a little hint, a little peek. It will be something that you haven't seen for a while. I mean, it might be 40 years you haven't seen it. So tomorrow, every day we decided to do a block. And so tomorrow we're going to start on the first corner.
Mural that will depict the journey, the 40 years journey for Belize as a nation, as an independent nation, and trying to capture in a timeline fashion all that has occurred, our cultures, the excitement of being an independent nation, the struggles of being an independent nation. The mural will capture all of that and have this and bring back this life to this area here, Cemetery Road and Dolphin Street. We wanted to ensure that we capture some of the key figures that brought us to where we are as an independent nation. The George Prices, the Philip Golsons, our diversity as a nation, and the struggles and the challenges we face as a nation currently. And that will be captured here in this mural.
Commissioned by the National Celebrations Committee, Johnston says it is an exciting venture for her and the other artists to capture the history of Belize.
It's more community service because you're giving something to the community that they could appreciate, right? And we're depicting stuff that they could appreciate, and we so it's an overwhelming feeling to be one of the artists that they chosen, because it could have been anyone. Let's just say I'm the only female that they picked. My favorite would be the depicting unity within the different coming together. We call it a bram. So I'm giving you another little hint. Here in the Creole culture, we call it bram. So think of it as different cultures coming together, having a bram. And so from then to now, because back then you had, and even up to now, you still have your jawbone and so we're trying to have little key things in.
Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner says that the location is ideal because next to downtown Albert Street, it is an area highly trafficked by residents and visitors entering the city.
All across the country, at 40, we wanted the NCC wanted municipalities to participate and have their own mural depicting their own cultures in their own neck of the woods. And so this is across the entire country. The unveiling will be on the 13th of September, where simultaneously we'll be unveiling all the murals all across the country. So that's an exciting event that we are looking forward to.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The Northern Maya Association of Belize has recognized leaders of the Mayan community who over the years have dedicated a large part of their lives to safeguarding and promoting the heritage of their parents and forefathers. So every year since 2017, they celebrate Maya Heroes Day. This year, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, these leaders were recognized. The purpose of the initiative is to create awareness, appreciation, and pride for Mayan roots among our society, especially in the younger generations. A brief ceremony was held in Orange Walk.
When we think of the Battle of Orange Walk, or even Maya Heroes, Marcos Canul immediately and justifiably jumps to mind. But there are many other Maya heroes who fought and continue to fight on the front lines of modern-day battles in Belize. One such ongoing battle is preserving and teaching our children about Maya heroes, artists, writers, and musicians, and most importantly, to make them understand the importance of connections to the land they live on. In our role within the Northern Mayan Association, it is imperative to have honest and brave conversations to honor and recognize the strides accomplished by our Yucatec Maya people. Today, therefore, we celebrate Maya Heroes Day with our now traditional, but most importantly, meaningful wreath-laying ceremony.
Se enfrentó al imperio más poderoso del mundo. Por eso en su memoria demos ramo de flores. ¡Ajúa! ¡Sí, señor! ¡Que viva Marcos!
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.